welcome you back to the Drench channel. Today we are talking about California, and wow, I know some of you are doubting it, and some of you are saying, well, my forecast doesn't say this, but look at this right here. As we zoom in, we go out to windy.com, you are talking about possibly another atmospheric river coming into California over the next 2 weeks. Possibly the Europeans calling for this, and the GFS is calling for a little bit less, but a little bit more down here. So we will see ultimately which one ends up winning, and we are currently looking at the GFS as we scoot in here to Mount Shasta. Another 2.87 inches of precipitation. Now, is this snow? You bet it is. It's still snow as we scoot in here. You can see that Mount Shasta is 22 inches, possibly 25 inches, and we go over to the European model, and they're calling for another 43 inches, maybe 51 inches at Mount Shasta itself. 51 inches. We go to Mount Shasta, the mountain here, 47. We go to Mount Shasta here, the volcano right here. You can see quite a bit possibly. Now, will this come to pass? It's really hard to say. I'm happy that it's snow instead of rain, because if this turns into rain, then a lot of this snow will melt. And let's look at that right now at the snow depth. You still got quite a bit of snow up here. By Caribou, they got 11 inches, but you go up north of Caribou and you have over 100 inches, and then you go back to new snow and you add another 41 inches. Now you're talking about 141 inches possibly, and then 37 over in Caribou. Paradise might even get some 2.5. Oroville might get some as well, but I highly doubt it. Usually it doesn't. But just check out over here, like the middle fork of the Feather River. You're talking about 47 inches, and then we come down here to New Bullard's bar reservoir here. The watershed here is 44 inches possibly. Here's the North Fork of the American River, 44 inches. You come down here, come over here to the South Fork. You're talking about 28 inches, and then over here at Tahoe, they possibly can get 30 inches. Truckee up here possibly get 33 inches, and then right over here 49 inches. Bear Valley can possibly get 41 inches. We go back to the GFS to see what they're calling for, about the same. So who knows ultimately what will happen. We'll go back to rain accumulation here, and they're talking about a lot here, 4.7 here. We go to the European model to see what the difference is. Pretty close. So big rain's coming, and it's been consistent. I've been talking about this for a while now, and people have been doubting it, but it hasn't gone away. It just keeps getting intense. Right along the west coast here, you can see quite a bit of precipitation coming all the way from Juneau, Alaska to Seattle, Portland, all the way down to San Jose. Even Los Angeles is getting in on some of the precipitation. Even Havasu possibly could get in on some of the rain here. We'll see what's going on over here. Possibly a quarter inch maybe. That's a European model, and the GFS, not so much. So good news for the Colorado. If you were watching yesterday, 1.7, go check that video out. 2.3. This definitely needs some precipitation, so we'll definitely be able to take some more precipitation over here. Let's see what the Europeans calling for. Pretty sporadic beyond that, so we'll see which one ultimately wins out. We always do, and let's go check out the water levels now. As we roll out to Lake Berryessa, you can see that the current water level is 441.44 feet, and that was on Monday, February 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 1.44 feet above the glory hole of 440. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.11 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 0.98 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.72 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 4.29 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 9.65 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 5.60 feet. There's no inflows or outflows at Lake Berryessa. Let's continue to the 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to the 3-year bar graph, you can see 440 is full pool. In 2023, we're looking at 413.33 feet. Last year, we were looking at 435.84 feet. And of course, today we're above that. We are at 441.44 feet, and your dead pool there is 253 feet. Let's go out to percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are currently looking at a 101.78%. Let's roll on out to Lake Folsom next. As we roll out to Lake Folsom, you can see that the water level is starting to drop again, as it did last year and as it did before in the past. You can see that these fluctuate quite frequent. You'll have another storm kick in here last year, a little bit before this, so we'll be seeing something similar. And today's water level is 434.93 feet, and that was on Monday, February 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 31.07 feet, below full pool of 466 feet. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.79 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is also down 2.03 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 11.93 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 37.40 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 16.43 feet. And over the last year, the lake is up 4.52 feet. Inflows are currently 4,222, and your outflows are currently 7,555. And we go out to your 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to your 3-year bar graph, you can see that the full pool there is 466 feet. In 2023, we're looking at 420.74 feet. Last year, we were looking at a level of 430.41 feet, and today we are looking at 434.93 feet. Dead pool there at Lake Folsom's 300 feet, and we continue to scoot along here. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, you can see that your current percentage of capacity is 67.42%. Let's roll on over to New Bullard's bar next. As we roll out to New Bullard's bar, you can see the spike almost kind of matching what goes on down south from there at Folsom. You can see that the current water level is 1,928.40 feet, and that was on Monday, February 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 26.60 feet below full pool of 1,955 feet. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.39 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is down 0.24 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 1.99 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 13.56 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 31.29 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 11.47 feet. And your inflows are currently 2,849, and your outflows are currently 3,393. Let's go out to your 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to New Bullard's bar graph, 1,955 feet is full pool. 2023, we're looking at 1,916.53 feet. Last year, we were looking at 1,916.93 feet. And today, we are looking at a level of 1,928.40 feet. You guys see the trend? Every year is a little bit higher than the previous year for the first 3 lakes. Dead pool here at New Bullard's bar is 1,700. We go out to percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, you can see that we are at 86.91%. Let's keep on rolling up to Lake Trinity next. And it looks like Lake Trinity's finally starting to break. We're getting closer to spring. We're almost to that March 1st date. The current water level is 2,342.07 feet. That was on Monday, February 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 27.93 feet below full pool of 2,370. Changes since yesterday. The lake is up 0.45 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is also up 0.18 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 0.33 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 7.56 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 12.33 feet. Over the last year, the lake is up 19.24 feet. Your inflows are currently 3,545, and your outflows are 2,809. Let's go out to the 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to the 3-year bar graph, glory holes 2,370.10 feet. In 2023, we were looking at a level of 2,230.26 feet. 2024, we were looking at a level of 2,322.83 feet. And today, we're looking at 2,342.07 feet. And dead pool there is 2,100 feet. Let's go out to percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are currently looking at 82.39%. Let's roll over to Lake Shasta next. As we roll out to Lake Shasta, you can see the roller coaster. We're going down and we're starting to increase slightly as it shows here. We'll see what that is in a minute. The current water level is 1,028.93 feet. And that was on Monday, February 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 38.07 feet below full pool of 1,067. Changes since yesterday. The lake is up 0.18 feet over the last 24 hours. The lake is down 2.50 feet over the last 7 days. Over the last 14 days, the lake is down 17.05 feet. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 0.98 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 18.19 feet. And over the last year, the lake is down 15.09 feet. Inflows are currently 21,892, and your outflows are currently 5,794. So I see that they're slowing down the outflows, but they ought to be concerned with the precipitation predicted in the future. Something to be thinking about, definitely. They probably start to increase their flows if this forecast continues to hold up. We will see. We'll be watching for sure. Let's roll out to your 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to the 3-year bar graph, your full pool level there is 1,067. In 2023, we were looking at a level of 994.59 feet. Last year, we were looking at a level of 1,044.02 feet. And of course, today we're looking at 1,028.93 feet. And dead pool there is 737.75 feet. Let's go to percentage of capacity next. Percentage of capacity is currently 77.06%. Let's roll up to Lake Oroville next. As we roll out to Lake Oroville, you can see that the roller coaster wasn't too dramatic like it was at the other place, and you can see it's starting to kind of level off. Who knows if they'll start releasing more with this precipitation forecasted. I don't know when they start to do that, but definitely something to think about. Our current water level is 862.26 feet, and that was on Monday, February 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. The level is 37.74 feet below full pool of 900. Changes since yesterday. The lake is down 0.08 feet over the last 24 hours. Over the last 7 days, the lake is up 0.12 feet. Over the last 14 days, the lake is up 0.97 feet, almost a foot. Over the last 30 days, the lake is up 23.67 feet. Over the last 6 months, the lake is up 38.45 feet. Over the last year, the lake is down 0.09 feet. So inflows are currently 12,159, and your outflows are currently 11,375. So they're releasing slightly less than what's coming into the lake. Let's roll out to your 3-year bar graph next. As we roll out to the 3-year bar graph, 900 is your full pool. In 2023, we were looking at a level of 829.12 feet. In 2024, we were looking at a level of 862.35 feet. In 2025, we were looking at a level of 862.26 feet, and your dead pool there is 640. And for our final stop, we'll go out to percentage of capacity next. As we roll out to percentage of capacity, we are looking at 83.90 feet. I suspect that they will be releasing more water soon if this forecast continues to hold up. I don't know when they'll pull the trigger, but they're not going to sit around and let it get to 900. They generally don't. So what's your thoughts? If you guys haven't already, please like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. God bless.